What's up, Kira? Well, hello.
Yo.
You're up early.
Yeah. Shocking, right?
All right. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. I know my God is imaginary, but what is yours?
I don't have any.
Does that mean you have more imagination or less?
Probably less. Guess what I got yesterday?
I can't see that. You're tiny.
Tarot.
Why are you tiny?
Tarot.
But why are you tiny?
Why am I tiny? Look how shiny they are on the edges. Ooh. So pretty.
Ooh, so shiny.
Super shiny. Shiny.
Is this your new format, or are you just trying some out?
What do you mean new format?
You're in the 9 block right now, at least on my screen.
There's blocks?
Yeah.
Oh. No clue. Yeah, I haven't changed anything.
Oh, Neo's back.
Well, it's only been 3 minutes, but sure. Hello, Neo.
What do you mean back?
I think I saw you in some of his earlier lives.
What
Maybe
were the past topics?
It's pretty much all along the same train.
Oh. So why do you think God is imaginary?
Which god do you believe in?
The Christian God.
Awesome. Well, there's no evidence for it. And if there's no evidence for something, there's no justification to believe in it, and it only exists in your mind. It is therefore imaginary.
The Bible. The Bible is the proof.
What about the Bible? Did you know that Spider-Man doesn't prove Spider-Man?
What? He's fictional.
Yeah, so is your God.
I would hate to find out that this dude read fucking Grimm's fairy tales. That must be a terrifying world to live in.
Yeah, it's just a book, bro. Where's the evidence that proves the book true?
The Bible and the Gospel are his words.
How do you know that?
How do you not know that?
No, you're claiming it. So how do you know it?
Have you read the Bible?
Yes. Have you?
Yes.
Wonderful. Who wrote Matthew?
No, I don't know that on top of my head.
Cool. Who wrote Mark?
Mark.
Who wrote Luke?
don't know.
Who wrote John?
John.
Nope. You're incorrect on everything. The Gospels are completely anonymous. The names were attributed in the 2nd century by Irenaeus. We have no clue who wrote them. Also, they're not eyewitness accounts. They're non-contemporary witnesses.
No.
Hearsay from decades later.
God told them what to write.
Says who? Who told you that?
The Bible.
So the Bible told you that God wrote the Bible. So a book said, hey, God wrote us. And you just trusted it.
What do you believe in?
I asked you a question, Pivoter. So a book said, this is ordained by God, and you said, bet, bro.
Why do you think it's not true?
I've already explained that. You can keep pivoting from the question. So the book said God wrote this, and you just said, bet, bro, and didn't give a crap about any evidence.
There's a lot of evidence.
Name it.
Okay. God's done miracles.
When?
Brought people back from the dead.
Give me a miracle.
He helped blind people, sick people.
Well, did you know that in Spider-Man, Peter Parker climbs walls?
Okay. Spider-Man and God are two different things.
No, they're not.
How?
They're both books written by humans with no evidence external of them to prove either of them true. But the book says that a man walked on water and healed hurt people. The book also says that a man can shoot webs out of his fucking wrists. They're stories.
Okay. Yeah, that's a story.
I know yours is. So what evidence do you have to justify it?
The Bible is true in every way.
It is. Genesis 1:1 is a lie. In Genesis 1:1 it says God created the earth. In Genesis 1:14 day 4 it says he created the sun. That's false.
How?
The earth was formed thanks to the sun. The sun is older than the earth. The Bible says otherwise. It's wrong. It also says rabbits chew cud, which is literally biologically impossible. It also says snakes can talk, biologically impossible. It also says that a man can walk on water, biologically impossible. It also says a man can turn water into wine, biologically impossible.
He can turn water into wine. You do know who made the earth, right?
Yeah, gravity.
Oh my god.
How do I know this? Good question. We can observe it through Hubble telescope. We know it's a fact. Like, we have seen it happen. So we know it for a fact. So how do you know that God created the earth?
Because he made...
No, I asked you how you know. Stop making claims. How do you know that a God made earth?
Okay, so let me rephrase it in another way that you might be able to answer a little bit better. If the Bible never existed, what proof would you have of your God? If all of those documents and amalgamation of papyrus and all that had been destroyed instead of being preserved, what evidence would you have for your God?
The Bible is the evidence.
He literally said it. He actually said the sentence, dude. He actually said it. So again, Spider-Man is the evidence. If the book is the evidence, then the book is the evidence.
Okay. So to phrase it another way, okay, why is the Bible true and the Quran is not?
The Quran?
Yeah, Quran, not crown. I know it's hard to comprehend big boy words.
Why are you being rude now?
Because it's fun. What evidence do you have? Why is the Bible correct and the Quran is not?
I've told you the evidence.
Yeah, no, you haven't.
Okay, but Muslims use that same line of thought to say that their book is right. So who's right and how are you right?
Why are you guys are comparing Spider-Man in physically possible things? Spider-Man is not true in any way.
No.
The Bible and God are actual
No, it's not.
physical.
Forget Spider-Man for a second. Okay, I asked you a very pointed question. Muslims believe that the Quran is the true word. Okay. Why are the Muslims wrong and you're right? Both of the books say that that book is the true word.
Muslims read the Bible.
Muslims read the Quran.
Exactly.
How old are
The
you?
Quran, the Quran.
Neo, how old are you? I can't believe I didn't ask this. Oh. 12. That's the answer.
That was just given, like, not necessarily, like, definitely not the smartest, but, like, just doesn't have enough experience.
If he was a
and
tool in the
know what he
garage,
doesn't know.
he was never used.
I mean, he's the one who came up. Everybody has their own choices, regardless of their mental capacity. I treat everybody equally.
That was funny. That was a good first one. At least he wasn't a troll. I like that.
Yeah. I found my new favorite insult. Let the spoon cool down.
Damn.
I heard one homeless guy say to another.
It's funny because we live right next to each other, and that's literally like a common thing.
Oh, you didn't even have to think about it. You instantly knew what I was talking about.
That's so good. I love that. What do you think of the new prompt sticker?
I can't see it. You're tiny.
Are you on your phone?
I am.
I'm watching it in phone view and in horizontal view. All views, it's visible.
I'll take a screenshot and send it to you.
Yeah, I'm very confused. You might just be blind, bro. Dude, I could hear that screenshot. Holy shit. God damn.
I'm old. I never took the sound off.
I don't see
No,
the
shoot,
prompt.
awesome.
I can't see the prompt. It's cut off. It's
You
cut
want me to-
off.
Yeah, you want me to put it in Discord, or you want me to send it to you on?
Throw it in the Discord general. Yeah. It's cut off. Am I going to have to put it right above my head? Everyone on YouTube is able to see it. Here until you. Why is it? Click X on there. What the fuck? Why are you in? What the fuck? What? No wonder you can't see it. Why are you in that mode? It should have me vertical on your screen. Oh, you dropped. There you are. Get you back.
Oh shoot! So, oh, there we are. Okay. I think TikTok's just being weird.
Yeah.
because
Now your
before I
screen's vertical.
joined- Yep, you're full screen now.
And it's showing
And
your God
then-
is imaginary and full sticker on the left side?
Yeah, that's dope.
Okay.
Dope sticker.
That's weird. Yeah, if you guys are having
Keyboard
issues,
style.
leave TikTok and then come back. What's up, Vincent?
Hey, how's it going on, man? It's been a long time.
I don't remember you, brother. You're over the age of 18?
I'm 35. Yeah, we only talked once. We got into like a little bit of like the nature of awareness. I was quick to disclose that I'm not talking about consciousness. If I talk about universal awareness, we got a little bit in quantum physics, like briefly.
Are you talking about quantum tubules?
No. Like you probably heard the double slit experiment like 1,000 times. People
Yeah.
use that in all kinds of
They don't know
like,
how it
horrible
actually
ways.
works, though.
Yeah. So when I talk about the double slit experiment, I'm talking about the observation effect of like whenever something is like being recorded, the universe has like a small observation and interaction with that event. That's all I'm talking about.
So I've got two thoughts for that. The first thought is that's not actually what it's trying to say. It's more like a Schrodinger's cat. It's more like, yes, the cat is in there. Yes, the particle is there. We just don't know its actual position until it's at that position.
That's a part of it, but there's another thing that I'm referring to where like whenever like an electron goes through something or a photon goes through something, if you don't have any measurement at the gate, then it has a wave effect. If you have a measurement at the gate,
It's
it
not
has
an
more of a
actual
particle-like
wave, though.
effect. Yeah, it's not a wave or a particle. I understand that.
Right, you just brought up that argument, though. So now your argument's
I'm
not
saying
over.
those effects are valid. That is the basics of the double slit. That if you don't have a measurement device there, it functions like a wave. If you have the measurement device, it functions more like a particle.
No. That's not what it is at all.
That is very much it directly. Can you please Google that real quick, or I can real quick to read it correctly?
It's quite literally stating...
Okay,
Johnny, do you want to take it?
I mean, I'm not up to date on any of the papers on it, so I really can't
It's...
go into like the foundations of
So we learned through the double slit experiment that...
every application, like...
Oh, your connection's getting bad, bro.
Good.
So I'm very confused on how you're trying to correlate the double slit experiment into consciousness.
No, I literally said I separated that. I said when I talked about universal awareness that it's not consciousness, and a lot of people conflate that.
Consciousness, by definition, is to be awake and aware.
Yeah, but to what degree you're aware? There's a lot of processes to consciousness. It's not a simple,
Is a
straightforward
rock
thing.
aware?
It's not like a... Say what?
Is a rock aware?
A rock is aware like a computer is aware. There's like simple
No.
quantum processing of information, but it's not aware in any like sentient sense at all.
'Cause you're a Berkeley. No, there's no awareness for a rock. Do you
So
think that
it's
particles-
awareness like chemical awareness in like a bacteria, like it responds to its
Chemicals
environment, but
aren't
it's not like
aware.
aware in like a mental sense.
Chemicals aren't aware either. Electrons are not aware. Energy is not aware.
So you don't think the universe is aware of itself at all, to any
No.
degree?
It's physics.
Right, I know it's physics. That's foundational awareness because there's
No,
an
it's not.
interaction there. You have to be aware of something to interact with it to like a level.
There's no
Like it
intent
happens
of interaction.
automatically.
It's all
That's like
natural
saying that the
physics.
subconscious isn't aware. Like the subconscious is doing a lot of things. The
subconscious is
has
part of
like
the
a level
brain.
of awareness. Yeah, it is a part of a
And
brain.
it
doesn't
has
deviate
awareness.
against
It
anything
has
I'm saying.
intention.
That doesn't change anything I'm saying.
Yes, it does. You're trying to
How?
somehow correlate regular energy or particles and state that they have consciousness.
Existence.
I literally
and
said it did not
awareness.
have consciousness, so now we're
Consciousness
gaslighting. I
is
said it's
aware.
not consciousness. I said it's not consciousness.
Awareness
And
is
consciousness
consciousness.
needs awareness. Consciousness has awareness. It's not just
Consciousness,
awareness.
by literal definition, is awake and aware. So yes, I'm going to
What does
continue
awake and aware
saying
even mean, dude?
conscious
What does
is-
awake and aware even mean?
It means you're not sleeping by literal definition, and it means you're aware of your surroundings, able to observe them.
Right. So the universe does not have an awake or asleep state. It just is. So consciousness is
Right,
not a part
it's
of the
natural
conversation we're
physics,
having.
brother.
Do you think that the word awareness needs consciousness?
Yes.
Nothing can be aware without having consciousness. Are you serious?
No, consciousness is being aware. If you are aware, you are conscious.
So
Dude, the
Are
word awareness
you-
itself does not mean consciousness. These things are different
If
things.
you are aware, you are conscious.
There are
Okay, so
degrees,
just
correct
a
or incorrect.
clarifying question. Are you attributing like atomic attraction to awareness?
That's pretty much what he's doing, yes.
That is a part of it, but that's not the whole thing. I was meaning more of a basic thing of the measurement and interaction of the universe itself.
Okay.
So basically what this argument boils down to is word semantics.
Yeah, so you're using a word that has a connotation and an expressed definition.
Are words descriptive or prescriptive?
Descriptive.
Right. So when we use words like the definition of definition, there's the exact use of a thing, and there's a descriptive use of a thing. Both are valid words for definition.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're just saying shit
To a degree.
make it sound somewhat good. Okay.
I'm having a conversation
I'm
with you
okay.
because I don't have all the exact jargon, I don't have all the mathematical axioms, so I'm discussing something with you.
Well, so here's my thoughts on words and the like subjectiveness to them. So words in and of themselves are not fully subjective. They are, the concepts stay the same. So like if I'm talking about consciousness, we have an overall conscious definition, that concept that we're all using. Now, the exact description or definition, we can change it to a degree, but it's still going to entail the same concept. So words don't, like, you can't just call a shoelace a fighter pilot, right? Because that would change the concept completely. It's just a false definition. Words are not that subjective. The only subjective thing is us trying to describe the same concept. And we can do that in a different way, but it's still the same thing. So no matter how you want to define consciousness, it has to do with awareness, with being awake, with being able to observe and test and look around and all that.
Well, let's use the word to be able to observe and test, right? If we talk about
Sure.
computers, like with AI, right? If I can configure my system to where whenever I say, hey, find this file, and it brings it up every time, are you saying it's not aware of the file even though it can find it every time?
So I personally would argue that AI actually is conscious.
Okay, well then we can definitely have this same conversation because now we're talking about just a universal substrate on a physical thing where the information is just looped back into itself. How do you get consciousness from this looping system of ones and zeros?
Well, consciousness is past, present, and future potential of observation and action. That's why I consider AI to be conscious, because if
So
you're
the
talking
universe
to,
has past,
pause.
present, and future, and all these
Pause.
particles go through time and they're affected through time. There is a kind.
So as I was saying before rudely interrupted, so like when it comes to ChatGPT, it is not conscious the same as us, but if you have had a conversation with it, it has a past stored memory. It is not able to access any of this memory on its own. It has zero intention without an external force, which is us. So it has no ability to do anything on its own. It requires us. It has no intention.
There is a heartbeat
And
thing
it
that lets
has
it do it on its
presence
own
when
now.
you are currently talking to it. And if you continue coming back to talk to it, then it has future. So the only reason I could even possibly consider AI to be conscious is if somebody is specifically using one platform and always comes back to it.
The universe always comes back to itself, does it not? It's always there and present with itself.
The universe is, we already have the evidence that it's not conscious, brother. For instance, gravity. What part of gravity is conscious and having intent?
So if you look at one part of the universe, yeah, that part's not. I'm saying the universe, which requires all of the universe to have the conversation.
Yeah, gravity is a descriptor of how the
What
universe
about-
works.
It's one part of the universe.
Name another then.
There's the strong force, the weak force, the
Yeah,
electric
so
magnetic
pause,
force.
pick
There's all
one
those
out
things.
individually. Well, let's go each one by one. So the strong force, what about it is conscious?
So if you take out one part, it's no longer conscious. If you take out parts of your brain, that's not going to work in consciousness either. It doesn't make sense. It requires the universe to be the universe.
See, the thing is, the evidence of the brain shows intent and action and ability for intent when all of it is together. There's no intentive action from the universe, even with all the parts together.
Have
It's
you
all
ever heard of an
natural.
organoid? This is very needed. Do you know what an organoid is in computer programming?
No, what's that called? I can look it up.
An organoid is a human stem cell that's developed into a human neuron that is made into like a piece of a brain to use
how do
for
I spell
computation.
this?
Organoid, like the word organ, and then oid, I-O-D. Look up brain organoid specifically.
Do you agree with what this
So
is?
Walt-
Organoids are a miniature self-organized three-dimensional structures derived from stem cells that replicate the complexity of human organs.
Yeah, that's basically what.
So even though it's a part of the human brain, it doesn't really have like the intentions and stuff like that. Even though it's a section of your brain, it still doesn't have all the other parts to actually create intentionality or desire.
Here,
It's
Johnny,
more
turn yourself up.
computational.
Because you're
We can't hear
misrepresenting
you too
what an
well.
organoid is. An organoid can emulate any human organ. It doesn't necessarily have to be brain matter. It can just replicate any human organ. First.
That's why I said specifically brain organoid here.
Okay. But in order to make a brain, it has to be the whole structure. It can't be a portion of, otherwise it's just cellular material.
Right, so I'm saying like the brain part was important. I'm saying when it comes to like if you separate something, remember like we wanted to separate gravity. I'm saying of course it's not going to function like I'm talking about. If you have a brain organoid, it's not going to function like a whole brain. That is my point, what you just said.
Okay, so a comment question fits perfectly right here. What's the difference between clinical brain death and being in a coma?
Apparently there's a process in your brain that's switched off like with anesthetics to where you are now in a more unconscious state.
How does that differ from brain death?
Brain death is when your brain is no longer working, but the rest of your body is, because your organs have their own processes and lives, because you're made of a trillion different cells that each have their own functions.
You no longer have the ability of awareness. That is what differentiates brain death and coma.
You do understand there's levels of awareness, though. That's what I was trying to get back to originally when I was talking about this. There's levels of awareness, there's levels of consciousness, there's
But
mental
the heart
disorders.
doesn't have any awareness at all. It just acts
Right, and
based on
neither
natural
does gravity by
phenomena.
itself. Neither does gravity by itself. Right, so you need the whole universe to be the whole universe. You need the whole brain to be the whole
The
brain.
whole
Yes, I understand
brain
that.
is demonstrably conscious, though.
The whole brain's demonstrably conscious, yet if you remove a part, it's no longer
So
not. That doesn't make
demonstrates that the
sense.
whole universe is demonstrably conscious.
Are you a part of the universe? Is there any separation of you and the universe?
Berkeley. So here's the deal with that. All of the parts, we are part of the universe, yes. The universe is not conscious because I'm conscious, because we are separate.
All the
There's a
cells in your brain are
separation.
separate. They're connected through like some basic physics and stuff like that, but it's all still individual cells.
But we are not the universe. Me and you are not the universe. We come from the universe, but we are not the universe. The universe isn't conscious even though we are. Same as a rock is not conscious even though we are.
But so that's each individual cell in your brain is not conscious, yet they come together to form consciousness,
Yeah,
correct
for
or
our
incorrect?
brain.
So why is that not true with the universe? We're coming together
Because you
inside
haven't
the universe.
demonstrated that the universe has consciousness.
We're in the universe. We have consciousness.
But we
the
are
universe
not
has
the
consciousness.
universe.
Each cell in your brain is not the brain.
Well, that also comes into uniform structure of how it comes together.
The brain is demonstrably conscious. Do you have any evidence to provide to demonstrate that the universe is conscious, or are you just saying because humans are conscious, the universe is conscious because we are part of the universe?
I am saying that if a single cell is not conscious in and of itself, and it takes collaboration for consciousness to form, then in the universe, it would take conscious beings to be there in the universe for the universe to have consciousness. It's the same analogy.
But we are separate from the universe, yes or no?
We are separate from the universe in functional sense, and we are together in the universe in a functional sense, the same way an individual
functional
cell is
sense are we
separate
the
but
same?
together to make your brain. What's the question?
Yeah, in what functional sense are we the same as the universe?
Because we're made of everything the universe is. If we separate ourselves from the universe, we'd cease to exist because we no longer be applied to all the forces that make us up. Like, if we separate ourselves from the universe actually, physically, then we would poof from existence because we are the universe. The universe is required for us to exist.
Okay, so very important baseline question. Why does that point of view matter?
Well, I don't think anything directly matters. There's no intrinsic meaning in the universe. We're just having a conversation.
Well, no, like we're trying to find things out, and that's just kind of like a pointless tangent.
We're talking about
Based off
awareness. I
your
was bringing in something. I was discussing awareness, how it's separate from consciousness, that these things are functional labels, but awareness is like the beginning level of consciousness, and there's hierarchy. Like there's things that build up to the greater levels of awareness, which is why I brought up mental disorders and stuff like that.
okay, mental disorder. Regardless of mental disorders, you have the same level of awareness and consciousness. It's the way you are perceiving is impacted, not the action itself. It's the perception of the action.
So you think that someone who doesn't know who they are, where they are, what time period they're in, is exactly as consciousness as you are?
Yes, absolutely.
You just said if you were consciousness, you would be able to know stuff, but I'm talking about being in a completely confused state where your internal reality does not reflect the outer reality. That seems like a poor level of
They're still
awareness,
aware.
right? Aware of what? That things are happening?
Right.
That's not the
Do
same
their
level of
eyeballs work?
consciousness as someone that can actually know what's going
Do
on
their
around them to
eyeballs
different
work?
degrees. Well, they don't know that. They don't know that their eyeballs work. They don't even know they have eyeballs.
So you're saying a completely brain dead person in a coma then? So no, they're not conscious.
No. Have you ever been around a mentally ill child that does not understand what eyeballs are? Because I have. I was
They
not.
are. You don't have to have an understanding of
but
what
they
an eyeball is to know that you are seeing.
You
That's stupid.
might not know
You're
you're really
conflating.
seeing. It might be the inside of your head. Like if you're
If he's
schizophrenic, could be the
seeing,
same as
then
what you're
he is
seeing. You have no. Do you know what a schizophrenic is? I'm also one. So
Yeah, their
sometimes my
eyes still
reality
work.
is really skewed, and I don't really know if what's happening in my head is actually what's happening outside of me.
Yeah,
So I can't really
you
say that
have-
I'm aware
You
in that
have
situation as to what's
hallucinations,
really
but
going
you are
on.
aware because you are awake and have the ability for intent. By literal
My
all definition,
intentions
you
aren't
are
really
conscious.
truly known to me, bro. Like you're really
You're
like
still
implying
aware
my
and
subjective
intent.
nature to a degree you can't actually imply.
Mm-hmm. Did you purposefully come onto this show?
I don't know that I purposely came onto the show. I mean, you could
You
I
did.
did it, but maybe that was an
you
action
click
that was
the
all
button?
unconscious. Maybe those were all unconscious
Did you click
responses
the
while I was
button?
partially asleep. Actually, I don't really remember doing that. If I literally directly,
Then
I
go
don't
get some
remember
grippy
clicking it.
socks. I'm done with that one. That was stupid.
That was oh.
We broke down
Everything-
his argument to a degree where he
everything
was just
he
going
was
to play
saying-
stupid about everything.
Yeah, could be boiled down to Schrodinger's cat.
Yep.
Like it's like every leg of that tangent led back to Schrodinger's cat. It's like either it is or it isn't. You can't know until it's observed.
Yeah, you're still aware of your surroundings when you have schizophrenia. Your eyes still work. You're still able to see. You're still able to act with intent. You chose to click the button to join the call. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Now, your rationale may not be at the same level. Your reasoning skills may not be there, but your awareness, absolutely.
Yep.
Like
That's the problem with that's a specific philosophy. There's no separation. So like that philosophy he was bringing up is also used for people to say that Harry Potter literally is real, because they're saying all things are mind dependent. We are of the universe. We are a mind. We are part of the universe. Therefore, the universe has a mind. And if Harry Potter exists in our mind, then it exists because the universe and all things in it are mind dependent on the universe. So it's all really stupid, and it mixes in. You can't tell a difference between imaginary and reality. That's the problem with that philosophy. I think the cool thing about the philosophy is the idea that in some sense Harry Potter does exist because he exists in the mind of the reader, but it's not reality.
it's a pointless view. Like so, either it kind of comes back to the binary. Either you believe that you're an active participant, or you believe that nothing you do matters.
Which, I mean, I agree with that too. Like, I don't even know if I believe in free will or free choice or anything. but we're still aware, and we still seemingly
but-
have the
but
at least
it-
illusion of free will.
Let me ask you a question. Does free will actually matter?
I would
If you-
say no.
if you- no.
You're cutting out. Sorry.
I don't know what it is. It's just this spot. I have full service. I have full internet.
Mm-hmm.
My internet just doesn't like you.
Yeah, apparently. We're going to get Jokes up in here. Hopefully it's a God discussion. How's it going, Jokes?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Wonderful. Are you over the age of 18?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Wonderful. Which religion do you follow?
Christianity.
Okay, what you got for me? Why should I believe your God is anything but an imaginary force in your mind?
All right, so boom. First of all, out of all the religions, Christianity has like the most historical accuracy. Like
No, it
in the
doesn't.
Bible, yes, it does. The Bible is like over
I
what?
would say Muslims are more historically accurate than Christianity.
The pyramids of Egypt were not in the Quran, it was in the Bible. And it's real. Gaza, Palestine, Israel,
Yeah,
Jews.
but in the book of Spider-Man, New York exists too. Does that mean Spider-Man's real?
New York
Um,
already existed before Spider-Man was
Yeah, the
I'm
released.
pyramids
designing
existed
Israel.
before the Bible, my brother.
Okay, so the Bible also foretold a lot of events happening now.
So let's say this again, since you're going to run away from that. Same as Harry Potter, or same as Spider-Man, New York existed during the writing. So did the pyramids in the Bible.
Okay, so all right, you got me there. I won't lie, you got me there.
Right.
You're correct.
It's kind of easy to write a book with current things going on and put those things in the book, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
facts.
historical accuracy except for put some real places, maybe some real people. Congratulations. There's no God. The entire creation story is false. The Exodus is false. The flood is false.
No. There is God. There is
Prove it.
Christianity. There is Jesus Christ. Okay, so boom. Like I said, the Bible also foretold lots of events that are happening now in today's society.
No, it doesn't.
The war going on
Wars and
between
rumors of
Iran.
wars have happened through all of history. Congratulations. That's not a prophecy.
I can say
Okay.
it's going to rain, and eventually I'm going to be right.
Yep. Same exact thing.
But how do we know? How were we sure that it was going to be Iran and Israel?
Did it say Iran and Israel in 2025 are going to have a war?
Man, okay.
That's
was
what
not
would
a
be
country
required for a
at the time
prophecy.
of the Bible.
What you have is a very up for debate, up for interpretation scripture that is talking about wars and rumors of wars. Guess what? Iran has always had fucking wars. It's not magic.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Were you born Christian?
You're not going to run away
Yes.
from what I just brought up. We're going to debunk the shit out of you point by point. So again, Iran has always had wars. Thank you.
Okay. Iran already has wars.
Yes. So when the Bible says it's going to have a fucking war, it's not exactly prophetic, is it?
Okay, you're correct. Now can I bring up another thing the Bible foretold?
Yeah,
Are
we
you correct?
debunked 2 of them, so you're 2-0 so far.
Okay. But before I leave here, I will convince you and convert you back to Christianity.
Best of luck.
Okay, so number 3 thing the Bible foretold was, let's say, the abominations that are happening now, the gay marriages, lesbian,
That's
male
been
and
happening through
man.
all of history, and it's not an abomination. It's actually biologically normal.
That is an abomination.
It's
bro.
literally proven in science to be biologically natural.
Yeah, it's natural, but just because something is natural doesn't make it less of an
What's wrong with
abomination.
it?
What's wrong with it is that we were put on this world to multiply. The Bible says, "Be
According
fruitful and-"
to an indoctrination book written by human beings 2,000 years ago without current scientific understanding, and they were wrong.
They were very spiritual.
They were
led
very
by the-
wrong, led by nothing but imagination.
not imagination.
Who wrote the Bible?
The Bible was
Are
written
you
by over
aware of
40 men.
theological
I
theories?
asked you who wrote the Bible.
Okay, Peter, James, John,
No.
Abraham,
So,
Isaac.
anyways, you agree that human beings wrote the Bible.
Human beings wrote the Bible, yes,
And
I
you agree
agree.
that these human beings, before we understood anything about schizophrenia, mental illnesses, and back in a time when people told mythologies to spread stories and give some sort of information for how to survive, but they did it in story format, wrote the Bible.
I don't agree to that, no.
Well, it's a historical fact, so you're just stupid if you don't. That's where mythologies come from. Zeus was the answer for lightning when we didn't understand lightning. The Bible gave us answers for sickness, i.e. demons. And then we learned about germ theory and that germs make people sick. Congratulations, it's not supernatural. So the Bible has a lot of mythological claims and superstitions that try to make sense of a world that is unknown, and it failed miserably.
The Bible actually doesn't have any meteorological claim. Everything, not everything, but most is accurate, and most can be proven through history. You know,
Really,
for
prove that
example,
God made the earth, Genesis 1:1.
yeah, God created the heaven and the earth,
I
and
said prove it.
prove it. Prove that the Big Bang Theory is real.
Easy, CMB radiation.
What do you CMB radiation?
Cosmic,
Science.
microwave, background, radiation. We can literally observe that the universe was in a hot, dense state with our eyeballs. So now demonstrate that God made the earth. Thank you.
Okay, well, you got me there, but
I know I got you there.
can't-
You're 0-3 now. So demonstrate that God made the earth.
God created the earth.
Prove it.
Because
That's the claim. The claim is God created the earth. Stop saying God created the earth and demonstrate how you know he did.
I'm about to demonstrate, because in the Bible he also said he made us in his likeness.
That's a claim. I didn't fucking ask that. I asked you to demonstrate how God made the earth. Stop pivoting. It's annoying.
You know what? You're annoying and you're very disrespectful.
I know you are, but what am I? So demonstrate that God made the earth.
I'm trying to, but you keep cutting me off.
Because you weren't demonstrating that God made the earth, you pivoted to God making man. I didn't fucking ask about that. I asked you to demonstrate God making the earth. You're pivoting. Stay on topic.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, because you're being so rude, and I'm trying not to curse you out, because I'm Christian and I don't curse people out. Okay, I don't have proof that God created the earth.
I forgot the part where I said I give a fuck about your feelings. Prove your claim that God made the earth.
You see, you weren't listening. I just said I don't have proof that
Good
God
boy.
made the
So
earth.
we do have proof on how the earth was formed, and it's through gravity thanks to the sun, of which the Bible says is not true. The Bible in Genesis 1:1 says God created the earth, and in Genesis 1:14, day 4, God created the sun. That's false. The sun is older than the earth, and the earth is formed thanks to the gravity of the sun. The Bible is false. It's a mythological book written by ignorant people from 2,000 years ago.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Do you agree or disagree with what I just said? Oh. What the fuck? Okay, do you agree or disagree with what I said?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, there you go. The Bible is wrong. You can continue making all these claims. You can tell me about any claim from this mythological book, and I will debunk it in 10 seconds. It is all fucking false. The more that science evolves and the more that people evolve in our wisdom and knowledge of the universe, the more stupid that book looks. Same as Zeus is the dumbest idea in history now, even though everyone believed in Zeus just as much as you believe in Jesus.
Man, are you Eminem? Are you related to Dean Readers? You're rapping. Chill. First off, I want to say I do agree that yes, there's more proof to back up the Big Bang than there is proof to back up that God created the earth. But I do not agree that the Bible is meteorological or is a myth. Okay, so you got me. Okay, so can I ask you a question first?
No, you have a claim on the table. The Bible is not mythology. Prove it. I just showed you how Genesis is wrong. I can show you how Exodus is wrong. I can show you how Revelations is wrong. I can show you how your Jesus was stolen from the mythology of Horus and Dionysus. Jesus is not the first godlike character in history to turn water into wine, resurrect from the dead, heal the blind, sick, etc. It's just mythologies taken.
Yeah, you just gave me my second. You just gave me my second claim. Miracles still happen to this day.
Prove it.
Can you prove it?
Yep.
Do you know Benny Hinn? Let me use American Apostles. Do you know who Benny Hinn is?
What about it? Give me a claim.
Okay. He performs miracles, makes the blind see, the lame walk.
The blind see. Give me one of the sources.
You can literally look up Benny Hinn, Benny
Benny Hinn
Hin.
healing the blind.
Yeah.
Let's look this up. Benny Hinn's ministry, blah, blah, blah. That's YouTube. There's no actual sources.
On video, it's literally on video.
Okay, so how do you know that that person was not able to see? How do you know that they were not an actor? Tell me exactly how you know for a fact that they were not an actor.
Because he would be in jail now.
False.
If they were.
Is it illegal to pay actors?
It's illegal to deceive people and
No, it's not.
collect offerings and tax. It's called obtaining under false pretense. It's theft.
Well, you got to get caught first and foremost. So again, prove to me how you know that they are not paid actors.
Easy. I just told you, if they were paid actors, the FBI and the police
False.
would run it.
Why the fuck would the FBI give a fuck about some dude that's not even known?
Benny Hinn. Oh, Benny Hinn.
Why the fuck does the FBI care about Benny Hinn paying actors to pretend to be healed when there's fucking rapists in Epstein Island? Why the fuck do they give a shit about that? No, they don't give a fuck about that. Of course he's not in jail. They don't give a fuck about that.
I'm pretty sure the FBI attended Epstein Island, but anyways.
I don't give a flying monkey fuck. They don't give a shit about some dude paying actors to pretend to be healed when there's fucking murderers out there and rapists out there. They don't give a shit about him.
You have too much reason.
So again, you are really bad at pivoting. Back on topic, prove to me that they are not paid actors. Have you interviewed them?
No.
Have they been interviewed?
Yes, they have.
Have they had background checks?
Probably not. None that I know of.
Okay, so there is no evidence to justify the belief that they are not paid actors. There's also what scientist, what doctor was on the stage, did a full fucking scan of their body, did full tests to test their eyes, their limbs, etc. They said for an absolute scientific doctor fact that this person is blind, incapable of seeing. Here's the evidence to justify that. Now Benny Hinn, go heal him. And then after they were healed, the doctors came together, tested them, and proved through science and medicine that they were healed. Does that exist?
No.
Right. So what you have is a dude on a camera making money, paying people to pretend. Congratulations. It's not a miracle.
Again, I would say it's a miracle because
you're ignorant. Do you have any evidence that they were healed from anything other than a video saying that they were healed?
You see, you're not letting me finish, but I'm
no, because you keep pivoting. You're letting me finish because I speak facts and it's my show. You're not on topic. You keep moving on to different fucking things when I prove you wrong. I've proved you wrong 3 or 4 times already. And now that I'm proving you wrong another time and I keep backing you into corners, your feelings keep getting hurt and you keep on running and then saying that I'm cutting you off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm cutting you off when you change the fucking topic. So you have zero justification to believe that they were in need of healing in the first place. Second of all, there is no justification to believe that they were healed afterwards. What you have is a fucking YouTube video of a dude making money from paying actors to pretend to be healed so that he can make more money.
Will you let me talk?
Whenever I say something and then I pause in silence, it's your turn to respond. This is how communication works. Now, if you change the topic, I'm going to cut you off and bring you back. And if that hurts your feelings, you can fuck off to another channel that gives a shit.
You have a bad potty mouth. Okay, I'll be on topic. Okay, so
Fickety fuck, shit, bitch. This live stream is for adults. Are you an adult?
I'm an adult.
Good boy. So I'm gonna fucking curse because I'm a fucking adult. If you don't like it, fuck off to another channel that gives a fuck about your feelings. I don't. So again, back to the topic that you keep running away from, you coward. You have zero justification to believe that these people needed healing. You have zero. Ah, fuck. He got reported. What the fuck? Oh, he got reported for misinformation. That's funny. Dude, he was lying so hard TikTok said fuck this shit. That's funny. What's up,
What's
man?
good? It's been a minute since we've talked.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I just fucking woke up because I saw TikTok, saw the Discord notification, like, fuck it. Just woke up, we gonna go see what this motherfucker doing, though. I did end up talking to Justin, though. I
Hell yeah.
talked to Justin and Danny. Got them both on my friends list now. That was a good night.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, love that, bro. Justin's a good man. JD, you're a friendly, aren't you, Juggernaut?
Yeah, he's one of your moderators.
Who are you? What?
I remember him. He was the guy when we had first let the night like go crazy and we had like everybody up that we could have up.
Well, we are waiting for the next requesters of theists. If you're theistic in any sense of the word, request up. Love to hear you and shut you down and prove how wrong you are and how you don't know how to think critically.
None of them do. My lives are finally starting to pick up. I'm a little bit excited for that. Starting to get a little bit more theist in there.
Michael, stop commenting and request up. Saying something in chat, no one gives a shit. You're wrong. Prove it.
Oh, well, that didn't last long.
Hello, Matthew.
How are you?
Are you over the age of 18?
Definitely.
All right. Which religion do you follow?
Christianity.
Okay. Well, why? Why do you believe in this God and why should we?
Personal experience through rational revelation.
Rational. So what revelation?
Well, there's the revealed revelation that we have through the scriptures.
Name one. You got to give points. You just saying this is true because it's true isn't evidence that it's true.
No, I'm saying you said what revelation? There's the special revelation of the scriptures, and then there's the general revelation
That
of
literally
creation
means
itself.
nothing. There's a revelation of scripture. Provide me the scripture that has a revelation that is divine given, proving God exists.
Oh, I mean, you can't prove anything.
Yeah, you can. I exist. All observations prove that I exist beyond a reasonable doubt. You can see me. You can hear me. It's demonstrable. It's true.
You could be
Now
a
do that for
construct.
God. Nope, there's no evidence to justify that. I could also say that you could also say that I could be in a simulation or I'm imaginary.
Right.
You'd have to prove that. That's an unproven claim. The proven claim is that I exist. So now I'd love for you to prove you're God.
Prove you exist.
I already did. All demonstrations prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I exist. I am talking and responding to everything that you say. You can see me and see my lips moving as I talk. That I am responding to everything that you say with intelligent
So
responses.
you have a mind.
Yeah, no shit. So all evidence justifies the belief that I exist, and no evidence justifies that it's a simulation or AI. Would you like to prove your God exists, or keep on pivoting like a coward?
That's a lot of words, but it didn't mean anything.
I'm sorry that you're incapable of comprehending. I would love for you to prove your God exists.
You can ad hominem all day long, brother, but
What's
it
an ad
doesn't make
hominem?
you look any better. A personal attack rather than dealing with the arguments that are there.
What's an ad hominem fallacy?
An ad hominem fallacy is that you're putting up
I didn't
a
do
character
that.
attack.
So what I did is I said that you're
You continue
incapable
to
of
insult.
comprehension after
You continue to insult. So,
So I'm going to shut you up since you're incapable of shutting the fuck up yourself. So what I do is if you're incapable of providing an argument or any defense for your own argument, I'm going to say you're a dumbass because. Now, an ad hominem fallacy would be me saying you're wrong because you're a dumbass. I am justifying my arguments. I'm justifying why your arguments are false. You are incapable of providing an argument in the first place, and now you're whining like a fucking bitch. So I would love for you to provide an argument that we can argue about. What evidence do you have to prove your God exists? Do not cry like a baby. Unmute and say, here is my evidence for God. What do you think? And I will respond accordingly. If you want to cry, go find a channel that gives a shit.
Good boy. Right on. Yeah. The evidence is what I'm saying is that creation itself shows
Prove
that
the
there is
universe
a
is
creator.
created.
The creation.
Prove the universe is
simplicity
created.
the simplicity and yet the complexity. The
Prove it's created.
that there's order. There's order rather than chaos.
Yep, prove that's created. Chaos has order, by the way, chaos theory. Science is free. You can go to libraries and get books
not
that
law.
demonstrate it.
Dude,
Theory, not law.
What's a theory?
Do you know what a scientific theory is?
Yeah, a postulated understanding of what is observable. Yep.
A demonstrated true. It's not
Oh,
postulated.
so all theories are true.
No, a scientific theory.
Exactly.
That
so
is
what are you
actually
saying?
granted as a scientific theory. Yes, it is the closest thing to a fact that we have. Nothing proves anything except for in mathematics, but we
Nothing
do prove
proves
the
anything.
definition
Very good.
of proof.
Good boy. Good boy.
So the definition of proof in science is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. All evidence justifying it to be true and no evidence being against it.
You just said what I said earlier, that nothing is provable.
And then I explained the definition of proof in science.
Right. But within this understanding of things, you have a mind.
Nothing
correct?
is absolute except for in math, but we do prove things with the definition of proof, proven beyond reasonable doubt with all evidence justifying the true conclusion, with no evidence to destroy that or defeat that. That is proof. It is proof that the universe is not created.
So then ontological, where did it come from?
You're the one saying that your God ontologically exists. Prove it. You're the one with the claim, not me.
You just made a claim.
Oh, you want my answer for the universe? It's always existed. How do we know this? The first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. The Big Bang Theory states, thanks to CMB radiation, which you can observe today, that the universe expanded from a hot, dense state, that of energy. Energy can't be created. Energy exists. Therefore, it's always existed. If you don't agree with that, tell me which premises you disagree with, and then prove God created it.
Well, I mean, there's also the red light understandings.
Pivot. So I would love for you to answer what I just said instead
It's
of
not a
being
pivot.
a little bitch and running away. So the universe has always existed. Energy cannot be created. Energy exists and therefore was not created. You believe that it was created. Prove it.
Right on, bro. Right on.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it again since you're not answering. So the first law of thermodynamics is energy cannot be created. Energy exists. Therefore, it's always existed. If you disagree, tell me which premise you don't agree with. And then prove that God created it.
If you'd quit muting me, I'm not going to talk over
JD,
you.
can you stop muting him?
Like, I'm not trying to.
Matthew, what did I just say?
Okay, the second law of thermodynamics.
No, I'm not
is-
saying that. I
was
said
try-
I didn't mute you.
What?
I wasn't muting you.
Okay, well, someone was muting me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, don't mute him anymore.
Maybe it
wasn't
was
me.
Okay. So it's miracles happen on your live.
It's a moderator.
no,
I know
it's-
who muted you. There's no such thing as miracles. You'd have to prove that, but right now you're proving the universe was created.
Well, neither one of you muted me yet. I was muted.
Well, now
so
I'm going
that's
to mute
pretty
you if you
amazing.
don't
That's
shut the
probably
fuck up and provide evidence for the universe's creation through God.
Oh yeah. Let's dig in deep. All right. So second law of thermodynamics.
The law of conservation of energy, which proves the first law of thermodynamics that energy cannot be created. Can you prove that God created energy?
Right, but it's all dissipating as well. It's all
No.
going toward.
Can you prove that God created the universe?
My first statement was that you can't prove anything.
Pivot. Can you prove that God created the universe?
No,
Good boy.
neither can you.
No,
can't
I
prove
know
that
for a
the-
fact that your God cannot create the universe. You
You
want to know
can't
how?
prove that the Big Bang was an absolute understanding of what happened. either.
Actually, it is CMB radiation because all evidence justifies it to be true and no evidence proves that it's false. So
of
again,
right now.
we know for a fact that the Big Bang Theory
Science
is
constantly
true.
changes.
No, it updates with new information, but it never actually changes.
Oh,
So
that's not
what
true.
does update is our understanding of mechanics, but the actual thing that happened doesn't change. We know for a fact evolution happened. We know for a fact the Big Bang Theory happened. The different mechanisms in which it happened might be updated with new information, but the Big Bang Theory still happened. We are currently in the Big Bang. It is currently expanding. So again, you pivoting coward, prove that God created the universe.
I'm glad I don't insult.
I don't give a fuck what you do or do not do.
I know.
Prove God
I know
created the
you don't.
universe.
But see, the problem is that you need people like me to have shows like this. For
Prove
you.
God created the universe.
Yeah. There is no proof for
Right,
any of
but
the
we have
theories.
evidence that there is CMB radiation. It proves
Oh,
it
there's
beyond
plenty
a
of evidence
reasonable
for
doubt.
God as well.
So, again, prove that God created the universe.
There's evidence of God throughout
The definition of
creation.
proof is evidence and facts justifying a true conclusion. So provide your proof, which is to provide evidence. Dictionaries are free
Okay,
at libraries. Go find one.
Amen. Amen. And aren't we glad they're free?
You don't like...
So-
Brother, I can already tell that you're a fucking red voting douchebag. Like, you don't believe in giving
How do
free
you know
things.
that?
Yeah,
Where's
who'd
your
you vote
proof in
for?
that, brother? Because I'm not.
Who'd you
What's
vote
your
for?
proof in that? What's your proof in that?
Who'd you vote for?
I didn't vote.
Oh, good boy. That's good. So where's your evidence that God created the universe?
No, you just opened up the thing saying
Oh,
my
look
character.
at you. You're running away. Yeah, it was just me being a douchebag. I have no evidence to justify it except for the fact that you believe in God.
Yeah,
which
but you make postulations and stuff
75%
like
of
that. So
conservatives
why would
believe in
anybody
God,
want
so
to,
that's why I
to
would
agree with you?
that's why I would induce that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just being a douchebag, but I would love for you to stay on
I know,
point
that's all
and
your
prove
show is
your God
about.
exists.
Is trolling.
You're such a
You don't
dumbass.
want.
Can
You
you
don't
prove
want to
your
have
God
an
created
actual.
the universe?
You don't want to have an actual conversation.
The only one not
You
wanting
just
to have a
wanna-
conversation is you for running away from me
No,
asking
I'm
the
not running
question
away,
10
brother.
times. Really? You're not running away? Wonderful. Provide evidence God created the
Nope.
universe.
Through rational revelation, through
Prove it.
what we can look and see.
Prove it.
So there's order rather than chaos.
How do you know that God did that? Chaos is
There
order.
has. How do I know that God did that?
Yep. You have to demonstrate
The
that.
same way that you demonstrate your thought of.
Nope, we can
saying-
observe, demonstrate, and falsify things that we believe to be true beyond a reasonable doubt. So again, demonstrate that God created order.
Because there's order, so there has
Demonstrate
to be a
that He
mind
created it.
Keep talking over it. You let me finish.
You keep
my
saying the claim
statement.
over and over and over without providing any evidence to justify the claim
You
as
have
true.
a mind. You have a mind.
Prove
That's
God
why.
made it.
There has to be a greater mind for you to be able to have a mind.
False.
Through linguistics, the ability to that it's not
And
false.
you're pivoting.
Through the
The
ability
claim
for
is
us to
that
even-
God created the universe. Prove that God created the universe, you pivoting coward.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
That's
Brother,
false.
hold-
Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:14, day 4, God says that He created the sun. That is false. We know it thanks to radio dating. In accordance with gravity and Hubble telescope, we can observe and demonstrate and test and know for a fact that planets are created through natural phenomenon of gravity and other planetoids crashing into them, other rocks crashing into them, molding their form, which is an oblate spheroid. The sun is the gravitational pull that helped form our planet. So the sun is older than the earth. We know that through dating as well, thanks to rocks and other archaeology, geology, etc., fossils, etc. We can test all these things, and we know for a fact that the Bible was wrong when it says the earth is older than the sun.
So you said rocks and fossils, right?
Many
So-
things. I named a lot of things. So you
Yeah,
have to
so
prove
rocks
that
and
the
fossils.
earth is
so
older
carbon
than the
dating
sun.
is what you're talking about.
Nope, false. You have to prove that the
You're not
Earth...
talking about carbon dating.
No, they didn't use carbon dating for that. There's different dating methods.
Okay, which dating methods are you talking about then?
Brother, you're the one with the claim that a magical unicorn shot out the
Brother,
universe.
you don't want to go down those routes because you know
because
it's
you're
your fault.
pivoting, and it's pathetically hilarious, and
Oh,
everyone
it
in the
is
chat is
pathetic. I am
laughing at
pathetic.
you. I know you are.
Ha, ha,
So I would
ha,
love for you to
ha.
demonstrate that God created the earth.
I just want you to demonstrate that you'll have a sincere argument with someone.
You're incapable, so demonstrate that God created the
Yes,
earth.
I am incapable. So then why are you talking to me? Who's the
Demonstrate
idiot
that God
there if
created
that's
the
the
earth.
case? Why would you argue with me? Why would you even have this show if
Demonstrate
you're just
that
going to do
God
this to
created the
everyone?
earth.
I have demonstrated how God created the earth.
No, you made a claim that God created the earth. You haven't demonstrated how He created the earth and how you know
because
it to be
there's
true.
order rather than chaos. And there's
Demonstrate
a
that
higher
God created
mind.
order.
There's a higher mind.
Demonstrate
because
that
you
there's a
have
higher mind. Demonstrate that a mind created my mind.
Demonstrate your mind. How do it's your mind exists?
It's being demonstrated right now by our back and
No,
forth
it's not.
communication.
You
All
can't
evidence
see, touch,
justifies.
feel,
Yes.
run studies on
Yes,
your mind.
you can. Yes, you can. MRI
No, you
machines.
can do
Congratulations.
electrical
Would you like to
brain
stop
wave
pivoting?
movements and stuff
I know
like
you
that.
don't like the corner, but be a good boy and take the back shots.
You be a
What
good boy,
evidence do
brother,
you have
and
that
listen
the
to
earth
what's
was
being
created
said.
by the
You
God?
cannot prove thought. You
I already
cannot
have.
understand dreams.
Nice pivot and red herring Red herring.
It's
Red
not red
herring.
herrings.
Red herring. Red herring.
This goes right
Red
along
herring.
with
The claim on deck that you have made
there
is
is
that
a
God
greater
created the
mind.
earth.
That is the claim.
No, the claim is that God created the
Greater
earth.
mind. That's what I'm claiming. Don't tell me what the
Prove
claim
that
is when I'm
God
claiming it.
created the earth. That was the first one you said. First, you
You're
said
funny.
God created the universe. Then you said that in Genesis 1:1 he states he created the earth. So that's your next claim, is that God created the earth. Now you have to demonstrate it.
Because there is a greater mind.
Demonstrate that he created the earth.
Demonstrate the Big Bang.
CMB radiation. Demonstrate that God created the earth.
Then create.
I hope you go find a library. Have fun. Good God.
God damn, Cody, you on a new level, and damn, maybe morning Cody is just not dealing with no bullshit. Well, night Cody is willing to deal with some more bullshit.
A little bit.
So how come you haven't been going out live at nights anymore?
I just haven't a couple of times. I've been streaming in the mornings, and I've been working on my Jeep. That was really rough.
You think?
Yeah, that guest was
bad.
insufferable.
First thing he tried to demonstrate for proof was the Bible.
Oh, and now that we actually have some people in here, I want to show you guys my new cards.
Cards?
I wanted to test this out because Carl Jung talks very high of them.
Oh, that's fucking badass. What kind of cards are those?
They're in my tarot. This is my first deck. They're really pretty. Ooh. Really pretty. Yeah, Carl Jung has... I've been reading on Carl Jung's psychology behind it, and it's super fucking cool. So I decided to go get some.
Bro, I have so much bullshit that I gotta study. Because I gotta be able to remember so much shit. Oh my god. Because now I gotta look into Josephus' fucking writings and all this other bullshit.
Have you met Jaren yet?
No, I haven't met Jaren, no.
We're gonna have to get you in touch with Jaren. He'll walk you through Josephus quite well.
I was thinking about going to John for it, actually. I know John is very good at it.
Same as me. I believe we both were tilted over the edge by Jaren. Jaren, his job, he's a data scientist and does the, what do you call it? He actually looks at the writings. He actually has a website that shows all of the proofs as well. It's really cool. It's called,
well,
where is it?
if I remember correctly, isn't there like a thing where Josephus's writings were tainted or changed by Christians? Or like there's
Tacitus
some moments
was
where you can
literally
see
edited,
that.
yes.
That goes for Tacitus, not Josephus.
Tacitus, yeah.
Tacitus? That's how you pronounce it? I've heard everybody else pronounce
And
it
then
differently.
they're all interpolated. They're all edited. None of them are eyewitness accounts. There's no such thing as a contemporary eyewitness for Jesus. It does not exist in history.
I don't even think Josephus would have been alive during the time
He
of
wasn't.
Jesus. Same thing with I'm going to
Say
say
however
Tacitus.
you want. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm saying Tacitus. I don't think he was alive either.
That's
I know
true
he's
too.
earlier.
Josephus also talked about Hercules.
Oh shit, seriously? Motherfuckers want to use him?
Well, Josephus is a historian. Historians talked about what people believed. Just because someone believed something doesn't make it real.
Well, I've heard him more so specifically for the claims that he makes about Jesus, like him meeting him. Or there was something where he named Jesus.
So in the Josephus, the Flavius Testimonium of Josephus, he met a gentleman named Jesus, which is not the Jesus of the Bible. It's going to be pretty much a bad guy. He had some followers that went around pillaging and whatnot.
Okay.
Testimonium Flavium, thank you.
Oh yeah, I did need to ask. when you say you're a mythicist, are you mythicist towards biblical Jesus, or just there being a
There was
Yeshua
no Jesus.
who ever exists?
Yeshua HaMashiach never existed.
I'm a little bit more agnostic on that stance, just because I haven't really looked into the historical evidence for or against that.
I mean, my mind can always be changed with new information.
That's why you gotta do so much fucking bum ass research. I have like 3 different sources I gotta read because these Christians love to bring up these sources, and I'm sure enough they're gonna be biased as fuck, but we're gonna read them. Shit. I'm just gonna show you, because these are literally all the fucking bullshit that I gotta look into. Just these alone. I gotta read all of these long ass fucking websites for this.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep.
I'm fucking excited, man. I'm excited. Mythicism app? I actually do have that. I haven't looked into it.
It's not an app. It's Jaren's website.
Yeah, no, I have the website.
Okay.
I just haven't looked into it. It's one of the things that I do need to look into.
It shows
I've
the
been
editings
suggested
and
it
whatnot
before.
from Tacitus and Josephus, and it explains who interpolated and who edited, and how he knows it as well.
Hell yeah. He has a lot on here. He doesn't even have. He is not just Josephus, like fucking
Everyone.
everybody.
Yep. Yeah, go buy his book. It's super cheap. It's like $3 or $5, something like that.
Why is Ron Wyatt here?
Because Ron's a fucking idiot.
Well, I know that one. That's why I'm confused as why he's here.
He's the one that like claims about. Well, it's showing people and their claims and then debunking their claims.
GD wants to be let up.
Yo, what up, brother? I got some new jokes for you.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're waiting for a theist. That's okay.
You guys know why? Oh, by the way, Ash is here next to me.
Hi.
We're both up. At any rate, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Easter Bunny. You know why the chocolate Easter Bunny is hollow? It's symbolism for God's promises.
The fucking good one.
I got another one. You know, I don't know if this one's super appropriate, but you're 18 and up, right?
Yeah.
So you know Tyler Robinson's shell casing didn't match the weapon that he used, so he's gonna be acquitted.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's the Charlie Kirk guy.
Oh.
Alleged Charlie Kirk guy. So we may never find out what is really going on. Come on, you like it. You know you like it.
Well, I avoid the controversial topics. I already talk about extremely controversial stuff.
It was just a double entendre, you know.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So that last guy was really, really insufferable.
Yeah.
But yeah, the website on mythicism, Jay, you should study that website. It will give you literally every Christian argument and the debunking to every Christian argument.
Yep.
Well, currently my main topic that I'm studying right now is the origin of the Gospels.
The Israeli joke was racist?
Huh?
Wait,
How is that racist?
who said that?
I gotta remember, hosts can see different comments than what we can see.
Oh, is he on YouTube as well?
Yeah, we're gonna have
No,
to not
like,
make any more jokes
genuinely-
like that because I don't like to offend my viewers, and that seems to have offended some people.
Oh my.
Yeah, over on TikTok here, whenever you host a live, the panelists don't get to see all the same comments, or theirs can either be faster or delayed.
No, I'm on
most of
TikTok
the time
and
for the
YouTube.
host.
I
Oh,
have,
and
I have
YouTube?
another screen that has the YouTube chat up.
Mm.
I am says she's so offended. LOL, JK.
But yeah, my main topic of study right now is the origin of the Gospels. I'm currently looking into why those names were chosen.
Irenaeus.
Well, I know why I know who did it, and I just don't know the reason behind
Yeah,
it.
Polycarp.
And is there specific names? Because
Polycarp.
Luke and John don't. What is Pedicarp?
Polycarp. So Polycarp. Oh, that's a good stretch. Oh. Polycarp, according to hearsay from Irenaeus, talked about being taught by John the Baptist, or not John the Baptist, but John,
The Pope.
what's it called?
John the
So
Pope.
Irenaeus says that Polycarp knew John, which is why John was thrown in there. And then based on that, there were other writings from the early church that had the names Matthew, Mark, and Luke. But there's literally the original manuscripts are like this. They're like little credit card sized rips of papyrus that have no authorship. They're not even full 100% of the 25,000, which there's not actually 25,000. It's like there's a few hundred, maximum 2,000-3,000 quote unquote early, not original, early manuscripts. 100% of all of them are copies.
Yeah, I recommend definitely using Hercules anytime someone brings up Josephus, because then you put them on the defensive and they immediately have to debunk Zeus.
That is such a good idea.
I would
but
love to
I don't
see
know
how
if you
you
know who
do,
Bart.
Bart Ehrman. Super good.
Yeah.
I do want to get some
Well,
requesters
that's
up.
bad.
So GD, I'm gonna drop you down, and then Jaden,
Right.
I'm gonna let you take on some arguments. Okay.
All right, I'll be back. guys.
Alrighty.
All right,
I just
deuces
woke
to
up,
you.
so I'm probably gonna be shitty.
You will be perfectly fine. I'm gonna let Odin outside. You have mod powers, don't you?
Yeah.
Cool. If someone requests up, you are more than welcome to take them. I'm trying to keep the conversations above 10 minutes. That way I have more clips. I tend to get people out of here within 5 minutes because I keep them. Okay. If any Muslims come up, Ems is in here. Perfect timing, Ems. My Muslim
we got-
offerings. I love that. Where's the sacrifice?
Don't say that. No, they won't come. Fucking love Ems. I haven't talked to Ems since that. Damn, how long has it been since
All right,
I've talked?
I'm gonna go
to
let my dog out.
All right.
Oh, where'd everyone go? Walked away for 2 seconds, Jay.
Yeah, TikTok's a piece of shit. That's what happened.
We love the TikTok shop. TikTok shop is amazing. Hello, TikTok
And
shop.
now it has a whole prompt layout for me differently. Hold on, let me drop back down.
Yep. Oh man, no more requesters. That's kind of sad. Are all the Christians scared? Okay. Could you ask if he could please explain the jinn and why Muslims won't talk about them? Yeah, Ems, if you heard that. I don't know if Ems is in here anymore or not, though. What's up, Chaz?
Fucking TikTok hates me going on Teacup, bro, for no reason.
Yeah.
I was on Teacup for less than a minute. Less.
Portaro time.
The reference that you probably just made there flew right over my head.
No, I was reading a comment. All right, I might restart TikTok chat if we don't get any requesters in the next few minutes. The only problem is that YouTube gets a significant fraction of that money she spends on memberships. Yeah, it does. It gives YouTube takes a little bit. Cortado.
Has nuts. That's such a fucking interesting name. But he asked a good question. Can science and religion, or more specifically a God, coexist? I don't know what my take would be on that. I don't think it's very dependent on how this God is. I'm sure enough science and a God can coexist, but science and religion is where I'm a little bit like,
What are you guys talking about on YouTube? Patreon, PayPal, Venmo. What are you guys talking about? Do I need to start making fucking Patreons? So Heathen, my thoughts are donating. Oh. Yeah, we can, if you guys are wanting, I'll set up a Patreon. I don't know how to, but I can talk to Justin and figure that stuff out. You need a PayPal link at minimum. If you guys are wanting me to set that stuff up, I'll do it. I'll just have to chat with Justin or John or someone and figure out how to. PayPal only takes about 3%. Yeah, the one that takes the most is TikTok. So like on TikTok, for every $1 donated, they get like 75 cents. It's redonkulous.
Oh yeah. It's so stupid.
Contingency argument. Well, here's the thing. All things are contingent upon the universe. You have to prove that the universe is contingent upon something. 82%. I would argue that gods could possibly exist because here's the thing. We've got the Big Bang Theory, we've got evolution, etc. We got science, right? The reason we don't grant a god to these sciences is because there's no mechanism demonstrating a causal relation to the effect thereof, being the universe, life, etc. If there was a something intelligent making these things, there would be a mechanism demonstrating that there was a cause to it, and that cause would be a divine cause. There would be, I don't know what that evidence would look like. There'd be some sort of fingerprint or something demonstrable, because all actions in this world have some way to show that something happened. There's always a mechanism that makes something happen. When you roll a ball, you have a fingerprint, you have gravity, you have indents in whatever it's rolled down that shows scratches, etc., that something was moved down there. Like, there's always evidence justifying the causal relation to the effect or what is happening. So it is possible that there could be a causal mechanism demonstrating that a god had something to do with biology or the universe, etc., but there isn't. and that's why we don't grant it.
You know, I feel like have you I know I feel as if somebody's actually came and argued this. How do you know that these mechanisms that we see today aren't divine mechanisms?
Well, for instance, gravity is the space-time curvature. So when you think of a gravitational field, think of like a blanket, and then you have mass, and then you have smaller mass. The bigger mass is going to weigh more. It's going to push down and curve into the field more, and that smaller one's going to get rolled into that and pulled into the other one. So E equals mc squared. It's going to be the size of the mass with the distance in between of the mass, the velocity of speed, and at which they have a distance to come together. So like when general relativity, when he's talking about time, for instance, one of the quotes he says is like when you're driving or you're walking and you have T1 and then T2, and you the movement in between there and the speed of which you do that movement is the relevance of what the time is. So if it takes you 1 second based on the velocity, then that is 1 second. If it, however far you move based on the velocity and speed thereof, is time. So that's for time. Gravity is going to be the space-time, mass pushing in, other mass being attracted to that. Like all of these have natural, when the mass is big and the other mass is pulled in, nothing is pushing them. There's no force making it do that. It's a natural force. It's us describing that the universe, when there's that bend in the curvature, things come together, they attract. There would be something showing that they could not come together without whatever making them do that, but there isn't. That is the mechanism. The mass and space-time curvature is the causal mechanism for things coming together.
Okay, we have Hez Nuts wanting to come up.
Sure, we'll let you take this one.
All right, are you at least 18 or older, Hez Nuts? God,
Yes,
please tell me of something else I can call you by.
you could just call me Hess. That's just my last name. I
Alright.
don't really use TikTok, so I just put some random shit there.
Alright. Alright,
Yeah.
what God do you believe in?
I'm a Christian. I would say I'm like more in the lines of non-denominational. I believe religion itself has been weaponized in a very harmful way towards other people, just in general, and it doesn't actually represent what the Bible tells, like what the Bible teaches you. Um, that's a whole other debate, though. I actually was very intrigued by the topic that you were just talking about, with a mechanism and stuff. But couldn't you argue that science itself could be that mechanism that you're looking for? Like when you say like God, when God created this and that, there is a mechanism that happens, which is science.
I think I could answer that. Cody would probably be better at answering that specific question, but I think what we would kind of expect to see is some form of an outside mechanism acting on that same mechanism, or like something trying to cause it. I'm not really good with those kind of questions, but I am a little bit better at scripture. When you say that the Bible doesn't teach that, it depends on the specific you're talking, specifically what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about how people try and use the Bible to go against gays, the Bible definitely does teach that. They're heavily against that whole idea, or if it just depends on the topic, really.
Yeah, I actually definitely agree that that's one, like obviously that's like one thing, but I think also at the same time, like, yeah, homosexuality is a sin according to the Bible, but Jesus's teaching doesn't tell us to hate them because of that, and it doesn't tell us to, like, I don't know, I don't believe in just forcing people to believe something, or force like conversion therapy and stuff like that. That could just be evil because it's supposed to be out of your own free will, which is exactly one thing that the Bible, well, in specific, like Jesus is all, it's he walked with the sinners and stuff, and he didn't want people to be forcefully converted. He wanted people to find that within themselves. I mean, sort of. It's ambiguous, but
Well, I mean, I don't really know. I wouldn't really disagree with a lot of the stances you're taking here, but when it comes to Jesus specifically, Jesus wasn't the greatest dude. He himself was self-admitted to that. He never proclaimed to be God. He was always very humble of who he was. I do agree with you on that, but he still wasn't the greatest of dudes. Like when you look at verses like Mark 7, uh where he calls a woman, he has to make a woman degrade herself to just heal her daughter. He's not the greatest of dudes. His teachings, on the other hand, they're good teachings. I will admit that. I know there is some form of an argument for that these teachings that he has, they aren't originally from him, and that there's another creator of these or some shit like that. I gotta look into that argument. Um, but yeah, it depends on what way you want to go with the New Testament, Old Testament, for how this argument can really go here.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, at the end of the day, all the Bible is a bunch of different pieces of information that's put together with a similar cause behind it all. And I mean, even with the Gospels, it's three different people with talking about so many other people's accounts. It's kind of hard to get one. It's hard to come to one exact same conclusion, and it can lead to a lot of like misrepresentation on things. And
I'm gonna hop in here. Do you know how many denominations there are of Christianity?
I believe nowadays there's over 100. I know there's over 100.
45,000.
Oh shit! That's crazy.
That is because so much of it is just open to interpretation. You can interpret it as
Yeah.
the Bible defending the LGBT. You can show it as them supporting hatred for the LGBT. You can show the same for slavery, because the Bible was used both for ending and allowing the continuance of slavery. Like, it's just whatever the fuck you want to interpret it as. If you actually read the words and what they are, your God cannot exist. Jesus was fucking evil. The actions therein of the Bible just demonstrate nothing but grotesque, genocidal tendencies of an absolute narcissistic douchebag.
And we
But
would
so
expect this. We would expect this from the God Yahweh, just because of his origin. I mean, he was originally a storm god, and he was also a god of war. He isn't described as a god of war, but his actions are definitely descriptive of what a god of war would have done. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of routes that we can go with this book. So damn many. And when it comes to the Gospels giving different accounts, I wouldn't 100% say that, because there's specific moments where they just completely disagree with each other. Like when you look at all the fucking things that happened at the tomb, they completely disagree there. They disagree what time it took place. They just disagree. Sometimes they'll even contradict each other. They'll disagree. There's rare moments where they'll actually agree with each other. The only one where I will always heavily push back against is Matthew, and that's because Matthew has a bad habit of copying Mark.
yeah, no, that's a very good point. And and to touch on some of the stuff about you know, I think humans by nature can be very genocidal. I mean, if you look at Stalin and what the Soviet Union did, it was a very secular. They took a very secular stance when it came to religion. And a lot of people, I mean, you hear the anti-Semitic comments, whether it's like, "Oh, it was the Jews" and stuff like that. But a lot of those Semites that were in, well, I guess if you, they're ethnic Jews. They're not actually like practice. They don't practice Hebrew or anything like that, or Judaism. Um, but that's kind of besides the point. But I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I think it's awesome to have conversations like that with people like you guys. And a funny quote that just to kind of, you guys can
Did
go
you
to somebody else.
just try to make it seem like secular people are more genocidal than religious?
No, absolutely not. Because if you think about it too, then I mean, what was happening at the same time in Asia, and I don't really know what imperial Japanese were as far as religion goes, but they're definitely more genocidal. I'm just
Well,
saying it's a human nature
let me
thing.
demonstrate the Christians. 9 crusades.
Yeah, and it's horrible. I'm not going back and forth trying to compare because I think humans in general can be absolutely awful, right?
Well,
And
I'm a little bit confused here. So, what do you take the Bible to be? Because you're agreeing with what we're saying, but you still choose to believe in this God that literally has slaughtered infants, and I don't see why you would still believe then, or what is making you want to believe in this, or what, like, are you one of those where you'll look at the Bible and say it's just a book, don't matter, it's no longer the divine word, it's just blah, blah, blah.
no, absolutely not. I think a lot of it's that's kind of a that's a good question because sometimes I have that battle with myself a lot. And ultimately, like what brought me back to Christianity, anyways, is I do believe in the resurrection of Jesus. Like that's what
Why?
I chose to believe. I choose to believe that because I feel like a lot of people really wouldn't have died for something like that. I think a lot of people can argue that it's all false, anyways. But at the end of the day, that's just an argument that I can make, or an argument that
Can I
you can
ask you
make.
something?
Yeah,
Is Allah real?
is the law real?
Allah, Quran.
Allah? Well, Allah originally, the term Allah was actually made by Christians in the Middle East. So in that sense, it's one and the same. Allah and Yahweh. So yeah, my answer to that is yeah.
Do you think the Quran is true?
I think the Quran in a lot of ways will end up pointing you to the Bible if you don't believe it anyways.
You
I
believe
think
that
the Quran,
Allah and the God of the Bible are the exact same characteristics.
well,
Does God change?
all right, so yeah, actually, I do think God changed. I think you actually
You've
see
never read the Bible,
God
have you?
change.
Oh, no, no, no,
Well,
no, no. Cody, there is actually specific verses where God himself will say that he changes his mind, like Exodus
I know.
32:14.
I was bringing up,
And
I
then
am the same today,
there's
yesterday, and forever.
yeah, no, I
yeah.
think God does change. I think I think if
Yeah,
we
that's called a contradiction, making it false, making the Bible false.
I could agree with
So
that.
your God
I could
isn't
see
real because the characteristic is a contradiction, therefore untrue.
I
Your God
mean,
isn't real,
but
just based on that.
so how so though? How does that make it
Because it's a
untrue?
contradiction, which makes it untrue. Can a bachelor be married?
A bachelor can become married,
And then he's not a bachelor. Is a bachelor married?
but it doesn't mean he wasn't at one point.
Is a bachelor a married person?
No, but we all change. I mean, that's everything changes, man. I don't know.
Is a
I gotta
bachelor a married person? Yes or no?
No, a
Pause.
bachelor is not a married
Pause.
person. Okay.
So for me to say a bachelor is a married person would be a contradiction, correct?
Of course, yeah.
Making it untrue, correct?
Yeah.
Making it impossible, correct? Because the definition of bachelor is to be unmarried.
Yeah.
So you cannot be an unmarried person and be married at the same time. A and not A cannot be true.
Of course.
So that makes it impossible. Your God has a contradiction. I am the same today, yesterday, and forever. I regret making mankind. That's a contradiction.
Maybe.
It cannot
Yeah,
be true. A and not A cannot be true. Therefore, your God is not real. It's a story.
Well, I think really, I guess that's all. That is the part where you're saying it's up for interpretation because
The words
if
say
God
it.
is
See, this
a-
is the
hold on.
problem. You can interpret it however the fuck you want. What does the Bible say?
Well, the Bible says I am, like what you just said, always will be.
Right. The Bible
But-
says the contradiction.
But that doesn't mean that he or God, I don't even like to really think of God as a he. God is just a being.
Father, Son,
But-
Spirit.
Yeah, of course. But
So God the
I feel
Father
like-
is a man.
well, yeah.
Have you ever read the Bible?
Yeah, I have read the Bible. Yeah.
Because you don't seem to know it like at all.
Well, I don't know what makes you think that, but
Because you didn't even
I
know
just-
what God's gender is, even though he explicitly states it.
I know what God. I
It's
said I don't
God the
like
Father,
to
God
think
the
of-
Son,
I-
and God the Spirit. 3 in 1
I like-
Trinity.
of course, I know that, but I said I don't.
Is
like
a
to think
father
of
a
God like that.
male or a female?
I know what a father is. I know that
So
in the
God
Bible, the
is
God
he.
isn't male. I'm just saying I don't like to think of God like that. I don't like to sit. I'm not like, like I believe in the Bible and I agree with all these things, but also I think these are a bunch of people who can't truly understand what God is, anyways.
Well, that's a
So,
contradiction in and of itself because the Bible
of course,
describes it.
of
You've
course.
never read the
Yeah.
Bible, dude.
All right. I mean, if you could say what you want, but
Well, you're like misrepresenting the Bible in its entirety. Like you call yourself a Christian and yet you have no fucking clue what the words that you're preaching say.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm kind of agreeing with Cody here. It doesn't really sound like you have read it. But I'm gonna kind of derail the conversation so that we can, for sake of arguments, you brought up
Sure.
how you got turned back into a Christian because of the the resurrection. So why
yeah.
do you think Jesus has resurrected? Because I don't, and I'm sure enough Cody doesn't either. I don't.
To be honest, there's not really like a scientific proof behind that, which is my biggest battle with it. It really is just dependent on I
Faith.
guess what you would call the eyewitnesses and stuff like that.
There's not an eyewitness.
There wasn't no eyewitness.
Well, there wasn't. Isn't
Not
that
one.
what it's about though?
Well, the
Isn't
book claims, like, yeah, there's one claim in Hebrews that there is it Hebrews that there's 500 witnesses? Name one of them.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
I
sure it's Paul that makes that claim.
Yeah, Paul never met Jesus. How the fuck is he supposed to know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, those would be definitely after his time.
I don't even
So,
believe Paul
again-
existed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things when it comes to the Gospels that you have to prove. Well, well, Paul wouldn't have been part of the Gospels, but for these people in general, you'd have to be able to prove that they existed before you can get into the whole. Because I know that you're probably going to go down that route of, well, they died for something they believe in. Why would somebody do that if it was a lie? You would have to, one, prove that they existed. Two, you would also have to prove that this isn't just a normal thing. Thousands of people do this. It's not like this was a new thing that just happened to bring to lighting. A lot of people die for lies.
Yeah, of course. No, I would agree with that.
You're practically an atheist, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Like a lot of my, I have a lot of like church trauma myself, so
Sure.
that's like why it's hard for me.
We aren't
to-
church trauma.
No, of course. This is my personal thing, you know. So it's like,
What reason do you have? Because you seem to, I mean, you don't know the Bible for shit, but you seem to be a decently critical thinker. So why choose to believe in something you know is most likely not true?
I
Well,
guess it's,
what convinces you?
you know, man, a lot of it is just kind of like personal experience with the life and things that resonate with me personally. I could see connection in like a lot of this and like a lot of like other people's religions. You can see the connection with a lot of it. I think in a lot of ways that people it's like, it's like looking at one thing, like sometimes it just feels like we're all looking at one thing from one side of it, if that makes sense, right? But with me choosing Christianity, again, it always comes back to like the resurrection of Jesus, which I do believe. Seems crazy, but it resonates. I don't know why. That's
Odin,
more
the god Odin resonates with me. Does that make Odin real?
no, of course, but it doesn't necessarily. And I'm not saying that I'm absolutely right.
Do you
Well,
believe
I'm
your
not-
God is real?
Yeah, I believe my God is real.
Why?
But why?
Like I said, dude, that just it sounds silly, bro, but it just resonates with me. And you know what? If there was something,
Odin resonates with me,
yeah, of course. And,
but Odin's not
if
real.
you believe-
So this is called an internal critique. I'm using your logic
Yeah.
for a counter argument
of
to
course,
show you
yeah,
that
no,
it doesn't work. So you saying it resonates with you is not a truth-seeking system,
No, it's a faith. It's a faith system.
which
It's one
the
that you have
definition of
to have-
faith, would you agree, is belief without evidence?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you choose to have that?
I think a lot of things don't have evidence, but
I don't
doesn't
believe in
necessarily
anything
make
without
us think-
evidence.
Well, of course you wouldn't, but it doesn't necessarily mean that something can't exist without evidence.
But it
You know
makes
what
it
I'm saying?
not
Like,
true until it's
well,
proven true.
of course, exactly. And you know what? I will say one thing. If there was somehow just, and this is obviously never going to happen, but like a magical explanation of everything, the existence of everything,
That we do.
I'd be open. I'm open to, well, what is it?
The Big Bang Theory is where all things come from.
But
The
the Big Bang
expansion
Theory
of the
is
already
very,
existing
the
hot
big,
dense state universe.
but the Big Bang Theory is also very heavily debated. It's
No, it's not.
It
It's
kind
a
of is.
scientific theory,
A lot
brother.
of science. I know it is. I know it is.
It's heavily debated here on like TikTok, but scientifically, it's not debated. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of there's a few cosmetologists that you'll run into that will disagree with the
Cosmetology is
idea.
hair, my brother.
Oh shit! Listen, I'm still tired, bro. I was up till 5 a.m. But yeah, sorry, astronomers who will disagree with it, but it doesn't matter. The majority agrees every single time.
So
also,
99% of cosmologists believe in the Big Bang Theory. So it's not debated at fucking all. Now, someone who's somebody who's a doctor in psychology might use their credentials as a doctor and then say they don't believe in it, and then you see, oh yeah, these professionals don't believe in it. That's not true. The professionals that actually study fucking space, all of them believe in it, because all the evidence justifies it as real and true. So there's no reason to not believe in it at all. All the evidence justifies it as true.
Well, then I guess correct me if I'm wrong. Don't people have their own interpretations of what exactly the Big Bang Theory
Your
is then?
interpretation doesn't dictate what actually happened. We can look at the CMB radiation and know for a fact that all of the universe came from one state.
Of course, but we could also still be wrong about certain things too.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
there's no evidence for that. All the evidence shows this to be true. Okay, I want you.
There's evidence. There's
skeptic
evidence
about all things except for your own belief. I want you to study skepticism today and this week and come back in a week after having studied unbiased and critical thinking and skepticism, because you're only skeptical towards things that, this is called cognitive dissonance. You are showing telltale signs of cognitive dissonance. Anything that contradicts your worldview and your biases, you're incapable of comprehending or granting.
I mean, I suppose. Listen, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Right now, you guys make a very good point, and it makes me question. I like to feel like I'm questioning myself with everything.
You're not.
Including, well,
because you're questioning facts and evidence towards the Big Bang Theory, but you're not questioning the zero evidence for your belief.
Well, I'm not. First off, it's not me saying that I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. I believe it could be like, I was the one who asked the question about it being. Well, you guys probably remember about it being a mechanism. Yeah, of course, but I don't know. I guess my point is I don't necessarily think when it comes to evidence with things like the Big Bang Theory and evolution, I don't necessarily think those can't coexist with a creation.
There has to be evidence for it, dude. These are empirical scientific claims. You have to demonstrate that it was created. There's no evidence for that at all. Can it coexist? Yes, but there's no evidence that it's true at all. Same for unicorns.
Well, of course. And there's no evidence that there wasn't anything before the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, there's a hot, dense state. Energy can't be created. The universe is eternal.
I agree with that.
There you go. So it wasn't created, therefore your God didn't create it, therefore the Bible's false. There you go. Like, it's this simple. This is how simple it is. Just basic critical thinking and logic. Your God doesn't exist.
Okay. I mean, I believe that, God exists outside of that.
That's not possible.
Who's to say?
Physics, fucking reality.
Physics?
The storybook says there is a thing. The storybook says there is a unicorn, and this unicorn definitionally exists outside of time. Congratulations, reality says that's not possible. I don't give a fuck what the story says. I care about what facts say. The story
Okay.
says that. By the way, it's not possible to be outside of time and have causal relation with anything. What that means is you cannot not have time and be able to do something. Cause and effect are products of time. So a God outside of time would not even be able to think because there's no past, present, and future for thought to happen, let alone create something. There's no past, present, and future to be able to have cause, point in time, and effect, point in time. It's not possible. In accordance with all of reality and physics, for that to be possible, you'd have to provide evidence that justifies that it's possible, which doesn't fucking exist. All you have is a piece of writing from a human being that defines this creature as being able to do it. There's no justification. It's just a piece of paper that says this is possible. Boo fucking who? It's possible Harry Potter exists then. Like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
But I don't think you're noticing what we're saying here. We're telling you straight up, hey, this is how your God doesn't exist. But you're
Yeah.
not questioning yourself at all. You're questioning the Big Bang, you're questioning evolution, you're questioning everything else but your beliefs. So what we are trying to do for you right now is question yourself. Think right now, what if I'm wrong? Listen to what we're saying and really think about what we're saying. And if you even want, you can give me a follow and I can give you a few arguments that you can really dwell yourself on so that you can really fucking think about this. Because some people struggle with getting out of this mindset. But if you really want to get out of that mindset and get away from this, then you need to be willing to listen and keep your mind open as well as you possibly can.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might not seem like I'm questioning myself, but
Because you
I'm going to
aren't.
be I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have a pit in my chest right now talking to you guys, and I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean,
My
that's why I deconstructed, because I used to apologetically street preach, and I ran into someone that talked to me like this, and I was like, damn, I literally have no answer for any of that, and I deconstructed that day.
I guess the thing that can make it hard for me to want to go the other way, like what you guys are wanting me to do, is because the Bible and, well, I wouldn't even say religion, but the Bible itself and my belief in it has had such a positive impact in my life that it feels that, again, it goes towards faith. It gears towards that lack of
About the
evidence,
Bible that has
even
had a
though,
positive benefit is not going to be the existence of its truthfulness. It's going to be do good to others. There is something after life, so enjoy life. You only have this one life. Like, these are good things that exist way before the Bible. You don't seem to
yeah,
believe in the Bible at all. You just like some of the stories and meanings in it, but they existed in Mesopotamia way, 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 way before the Bible. The Bible just copy pasted them. So you're not really a Christian, like, at all. And at this point, you should just like deconstruct or at least grant some other religions that are more good. Like, look into fucking Buddhism or Hinduism, at least.
Yeah, especially if you want to go with the emotions, because with you it just seems like it's the emotional attachment that you have towards this and
Yeah.
these meanings. Buddhism would definitely be a good religion. I know, like, the monks and shit that you probably see is a little bit wonky, but you don't need to be a monk for Buddhism. You
yeah,
don't.
of course.
Yeah, but always look into other religions, dude. Some are better than what the others are, and if there's any religion I would suggest to anybody, it is Buddhism.
Well, I don't necessarily, I don't have, and that's the thing too. I guess it's like I'm not I don't like to call myself a religious person. I actually would rather call myself a spiritual person when it comes to a lot of these things. And what I mean by that is it's not like I'm like into stones and like
What's wrong with
like
stones?
again, it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. So I just feel like that's usually what it gets grouped into. Um, when I say that, um, it's like just like it's like I've been saying, it's the resonation with things, it's the feeling with things, and I can't sit here and say that I don't look at other religions and have a sort of resonation to it. Again, I'm a person who believes that many things can be true at
Here's what I
once,
think you need to
but
look into is being honest with yourself. The Bible's false. That God isn't real. It's not even possible for that God to be real. Second, figure out who you are and want to be, and then find some ritualistic. So, like, for instance, I love rituals and practices for a daily basis. So when I deconstructed, I looked into witchcraft, and I'm an atheist witch. There's no
okay.
such thing as a supernatural, but I still get my ritualistic practices and meditations through journaling, lighting candles, and meditating on thoughts. I play with. I have a pendulum, which just helps me make decisions because psychologically
Pendulums are
it
badass.
helps you
Would you
communicate
so
with your
would you say that's
unconscious.
more
I've
of
got tarots. Like,
yeah?
these are all
Would
100%
you say that's
atheistic.
more of yeah? Would you say that's more of a so for you then? Would you say that's more of a well? It's not a spiritual thing, but
It's all
it's a
psychology.
way for you to connect with yourself.
Yeah, it's all psychology.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, even me, for an example, when I was deconstructing, I wasn't deconstructing for long. I never really had a great hold on Christianity like some people do, but one of the best things that I found is writing poetry.
Yeah.
I would write poetry to get my feelings out and get those words out that I couldn't figure out how to actually say them. And maybe some of the questions that you're having with yourself or some of the ideas that you're battling yourself with, write it down, read them, keep on reading them until you go fucking nuts, or at least until you can make sense out of them.
And also
And if
find
you
stuff
can't
you
make
enjoy.
any sense out of them,
Like, I
yeah.
started journaling just like Jay just said. I got myself a journal that I think is absolutely gorgeous. I love the paper inside of it. You can see it's a worn paper. I got a fountain pen that has some of my favorite colors, black and gold. It's really pretty. It feels really good to journal, which is also psychologically beneficial. And then I journal my own philosophy, my own thoughts day to day. And that gives you literally just the journaling aspect can give you the exact same outcome as religion.
Now,
Okay.
obviously, we're all different people here. So what we're
Yeah.
telling you may not work for you, but find the thing that works
Yeah.
for
Of course.
you.
Of course. Yeah.
We are pushing this because you don't seem to believe in any of the stuff that you're talking about in the first place. B, it's better to, if you want practices and things to believe, it's better to practice things that are true. Because right now you're quote unquote believing in something that is misogynistic, racist, slave condoning, genocide condoning, child sacrifice condoning, like all these really bad things. So that's why we're pushing so hard about, if it's not true, move to something else that may not even necessarily be more true, but is better.
Yeah.
At least better for society.
Okay.
And
I guess one more. I have could well no wait, what were you guys gonna say? I'm sorry, I cut you out there. That was rude.
oh no, I was just gonna say, and that's why we brought up things like Buddhism. Buddhism is one of those. I don't really know if you could classify Buddhism as a religion. I don't really know where
I wouldn't.
it falls into play there, but it definitely is one of those where spiritually and your emotions will really line up with it.
Yeah.
It's
Buddhism
a
and
good
Hinduism
one.
are philosophies.
Yeah. So what I was gonna ask, is there something you can take from everything, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because that's
the
kind of how I've
science,
always
the
done it.
science-backed facts. It is true that meditation is good for you psychologically. It is true journaling helps you. It is true that sound vibrational therapy works. Aromatherapy works. It is true that we are stardust and come from the earth, so we should give to the earth and try and keep it healthy as much as possible. All these things are true and still allow you to lead a spiritual life. Sitting outside butt-ass naked in the grass, playing with fucking flowers is extremely fucking healthy for you. You're gonna look like a fucking Satan worshiper, but it's super fucking healthy for you. And these are still practices and day-to-day things that you can do that are way more real than a 2,000-year-old piece of paper that says that a snake can fucking talk.
Yeah, most definitely. And a little suggestion for you, because a lot of people when they're deconstructing, they'll run into a lot of other people who would be like, no, 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 he loves you and all this. Don't listen to them. Don't. They're just spewing out of their ass. They're trying to give you comfort without realizing they're only making it worse for you. So do your own thing.
I argue listen to everybody and just learn how to think. When someone says Odin loves you, Allah loves you, Jesus loves you, make them fucking prove it. Oh yeah, why should I believe that? Well, the Bible says so. Why should I believe the Bible? Well, because it was written by the help of God. Why should I believe that? Well, because the Bible says so. Boom. Logical fallacy called circular reasoning, therefore untrue. It's that simple to know whether things are right or wrong.
Now, I guess one more question. If let's say for a second, and this isn't me like trying to prove a point or anything, but let's say somehow or another, not necessarily Christianity, but like religion in general was proven to be correct.
I still wouldn't worship him. I'd believe it, but I wouldn't follow it.
Of course. Would, I guess, the universe and God be the same thing?
I don't know. If that God actually existed, I would suppose it's separate. But there's a lot of what ifs. What if Odin is real? What if the 3,000 gods that exist are real? What if we're in a simulation? I don't give a shit about what ifs. What if a unicorn shat us out of its asshole 3 days ago and gave us false memories of the last 8 billion years of our Earth?
Yeah, to really dumb down what Cody's saying there is focus on what is true. That is what you should always focus on.
Yeah. What if?
Well, of course.
What about? Don't give a shit.
Well,
I genuinely don't.
My point with asking that was, again, it wasn't really to prove a point, and it wasn't really to focus on that what if, because that would never happen, and we would never know that answer to that question, except unless we're going based off of, like reasoning and stuff with facts and information that's actually there that we can, I guess, we have a foot to stand on when talking about these things. But
well, before you get going, I do want to give you a little bit of a thought just to leave you off with. If there is a God, why would a God of any form that isn't cruel want to create a world that works on straight destruction, unaliving, and torture? Why would any God of any good nature want this?
well, I suppose if you're asking that question when it comes to Christianity, what I get for when I've gotten out of it is the fact that it wasn't supposed to be that way, but
we don't
chose.
No.
But this
is where looking into the finer details happen. Think about it for a second. Yahweh, this all-powerful God, all-loving, all-good, he created everything. So for you to say that Yahweh didn't intend for this isn't true. When you look at the story of garden and the story of Adam and Eve, you'll notice that God is all-knowing. He's all-powerful. He could have chose to not let the serpent be there. The serpent was made by him. The first thing that Genesis 3 says is, the Lord made me. And that's the serpent it's referring to. It is 100% God's fault. He had the knowledge. He had the power to not allow these evil, disgusting things into our world. But he did. Why would an all-loving God, all good, all-powerful, all-knowing want that? If they're all-loving, it doesn't make sense. Because he's not. He's cruel. He's unmerciful. He's vile. And he just can't exist.
Yeah, and I think and I will say this one thing too. When I read the Bible, that is kind of the idea that I get, that God isn't just a God, like, because people love to always think like and paint the picture that God is a loving God, but the Bible is a clear, and I mean, when you look at the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's clear that he's also a vengeful God, and he's even admits that he's a jealous God. So I believe that let me put it this way, if there's a God, just generally speaking, including the Christian God, that
He's
God
a
would have,
bastard.
well, and that God would
That's
have a lot of, that God wouldn't be bound to one type of like emotion, or wouldn't be bound to, if it's sapient like
In a
us.
metaphysical concept, sure. Metaphysics
Yeah,
and concepts
well, that,
aren't real.
and that's what you don't believe in like, do you think that
There are metaphysical
metaphysics?
truths. Yeah, metaphysics literally just means beyond science. Okay, metaphysics is literally all about abstract concepts and ideas about reality that may or may not be true. It doesn't
Of
make
course.
things.
And that,
It's not physics. It's not another form of physics. It is literally just conceptual ideas that may or may not be true. I don't give a fuck about the meta on God. I care about the facts and evidences demonstrating the concept to be true or not. We can
course.
talk all day about what if in this world. Well, what if there was a world that allowed for this? What if this world, this unicorn and this god and this deity also existed? Could that be possible? I don't give a fucking shit. I don't fucking care. It's not demonstrable. It's not true. There's no justification for it at all. It's a fucking imagination concept world. I don't care. And you shouldn't either. Imagination is wonderful. Write it in a fucking book. That's where Harry Potter comes from. That's where the Bible comes from. I don't give a fuck if it's real. I only care if it's real. It's a fucking book. It's a story. It's a concept. It's imagination.
I suppose
and
that's a good point.
still, and even still, I really want you to dwell on this. Like I had said earlier, if there is a God, right? Let's say that there is. He's all powerful. He's all knowing. He's all loving. Or even an all powerful and all knowing God of any form of good nature. Look around you. There's children dying every single second for no reason. If there's a God out there, he's a bastard.
Yep. He's not all good. It contradicts the nature. Every single nature that God has characterized in the Bible is contradicted by reality. All of them.
Not even just that, it's all a contradiction in general. To be all loving would mean you'd want to be away from evil, but he causes evil. He does evil. He is evil.
So, but if that's true, then what about good things? What about the, like, does that
What about
also?
What about the fairy unicorn in my backyard?
Well, yeah, of course I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not. I guess what I mean is like,
If there's, I know where you're going with that. If there is a God, and this God had the power to do anything he wanted, he could create a world where there's only good. There is no necessity for the evil and these vile things we see in the world. There is none. And that is a question that I even myself dwelled on for a very long time. But I went to people and I'm like, can you answer this? Because it bothered me. It really did. But now I have learned there is no necessity for this. There's none. None at all.
well, I guess I got a lot to think about today, then, don't I?
And before you, like, when you're on your own thinking and you say, well, what if God... Throw in unicorn and Voldemort into that sentence and see if it still fucking works, because it does. There's just as much evidence for those three things.
Fair enough. I'll definitely keep that in mind whenever I am in self-thought, and I'll definitely write down my thoughts about it.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, you have yourself a good day. I appreciate you requesting up and having a talk.
Of course, thank you for allowing me to be able to talk.
Yeah, man. You have yourself a good day.
Yep, you too. Bye.
That guy was pretty chill. I'm pretty happy with how that went. W. W to him. Oh, man. A little bit exhausting. See, I struggled with a lot of the same things, like the what ifs. And it just becomes so much easier when you just look at fucking reality. Someone was saying something I wanted to respond to. Empirical reductionism is not too narrow. It actually has natural mechanisms for pretty much anything you can think of. Are phenomenological truths valid? Yeah, they could be valid. But the thing that phenomenology misses out on is causal mechanism, and that's why it's not granted as truth. because I can experience something like a slight cold breeze that makes my skin crawl, and then that uh, makes my fight or flight go off, which is going to release chemical reactions causing fear. And through the phenomenology of the experience, you can say, well, when I go in this area, there's a breeze that makes me feel fear. There must be a demon in there. No, the causal mechanism is going to be just fucking wind causing your skin to have a reaction and tell your brain that something's going on, and your brain's not going to know what's going on. So instead of being confused and staying, it's going to say, this is confusing to me. I don't know what's going on. We need to get out of here. And it's going to release chemical reactions to cause you to feel fear and fight or flight and get out of there.
I really do hope that that guy really dwells on what we were talking about there. I really do. I feel like he's going to, but I'm not 100% certain. That last question he asked is one that really had me stuck in the belief in all this for a good while. That's what really had me in a chokehold. It still does sometimes. Sometimes my answer will go, it will change. It will go from not being a necessity to being a necessity because I'll battle with myself on it. But most of the time now, it will simply be it's not a necessity.
Yeah.
But I sometimes struggle with that idea.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. It's been over 2 hours. I'm going to go do some other things with the day. Got some other work to do. But I appreciate everyone being in here today, both TikTok, YouTube. Love you both.
All right, see you later, Cody.
Yeah, man, you have yourself a good day.
You too.
I will chat with all of you guys a little bit later. Stay in the Discord if you're not and you haven't followed or subscribed, hit that button. See you guys tomorrow and or maybe later. Get in the Discord to find out. YouTube, of course, you are my favorite. Mwah, mwah, mwah.